What's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning into my video today. Of course, I'm Christina Price with On Cue Makeup, and this is the look that we're doing today. Yes, I know this is something different. Wait, no, look. No, let's X that out because I say that all the time. I promise you, I'm gonna find something new to say or whatever. But thank y'all for tuning in. And yes, this is a cut crease, more dramatic look. No, I don't normally do this type of look. I know I don't wear it. Most of my clients don't ask for it, but I saw some looks on Instagram and I was like, that'll be fun to do, just something a little bit different. I know I did some before, but in this video, I'm gonna show you all kind of tips and tricks that you can use that's going to help you get a popping cut crease like this. I promise you it's super easy, and the next time you do a cut crease on yourself or your client, is going to be like, you're going to see the difference and notice the difference. So I hope this video do help you guys. And thank you for tuning in. I hope you like it. Give it 2 thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment box below. Also, too, we're not going to act like we don't see this new wig. I don't have it curled or anything like that, but let's get into it. This is a lace front wig done by the infamous Coco Styles. She makes all of my wigs, so I'm going to leave her information down below. Also, we're using her banger bundles, and this hair was actually dyed from the dark natural brown that your bundles come from, and she bleached it, and it's like still no shedding. It's super soft. I can run my hands through it, and like I don't have any kind of like problems with it. You guys need this in your life, okay? So I'm gonna leave that information, that website down below as well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Okay, here of course we start off by grooming the brow, filling in the brow. I'm using the same brow gel that I normally always use with a really thin angle brush. And that makes a difference on getting a really sharp, precise brow using the proper brush. If your brush is small enough and tiny enough, you'll get that sharp brow. And also if you use a brow pencil, your pencil have to be really, really small to get that crisp brow that we all love. Okay, here I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm using blunt contour powder from MAC, and I'm using it just in the front part of my brows just to soften it up, as well as lighten those hairs as well. Since my hair is blonde, I want to lighten my brows just a little bit, but in a natural way. Also, I'm going to use it's called Girl Boy by MAC. It's a brow gel color, and it's just going to lighten my brows and make them a little bit blonde. And I'm only going to use it in the front part because I want my brows to have like a nice fade. So just in the front part, I'm going to lightly color my brows with this. Here, of course, I'm doing the concealer part just to define my brows a little bit more. At this part, I'm doing a lighter concealer, a concealer that's 2 shades lighter than my skin tone, right at the height of my brow where my arch is, just to give the illusion of having a higher arch. So I'm just going to highlight that area, and then I'm going to use on the ends, the front end and the back end, I'm going to use my natural color concealer, which is Toffee by LA Girl, and just to make it more natural and blend it better. Now I'm just going to pat in a little bit just to blend all of that together, not too much because I don't want to take it away. And I'm just going to continue to pat until it all blends in together. Now I'm just using a sheer pressed powder, anyone is fine, just to kind of set all of that concealer and everything to make it more matte. Okay, now for the part we all been waiting for. If you notice, I'm starting my eye different this time. I'm using a darker color first, and then I'm going to work my way up to the transition color. I'm doing that because, of course, we're doing a cut crease, and I want to really make sure my darker color is deep as possible. So I'm going to start with that color, and I'm going to pile it on there really, really good. Next, I'm going to go in with my lighter color. And if you notice, I'm using a fluffier brush than I did with the darker color because I just want to softly put this color in my crease. And I want it to really, really blend as well as with the edges of the darker color, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to continue to do that until it blends softly. Now, here is the trick when it comes to building a crease when you're doing a cut crease eye. The trick is to repeatedly do each step. So once I finish blending in the orange, which was my second transition color, I'm going to go back in and add more of the darker color that I put on previously. And I'm just going to add more color to that and continue to build that. Now I'm going to go in with my transition color, which was the orange one, again. So the key is to keep repeating each step that you previously did. The purpose of this trick is not only to have a bold crease, but to easily see each color that you use to transition. Now I'm using this yellow color at the top part of my crease, which is closer to my brow bone. And what this does is just gives a little bit more definition, a little bit more color to my crease, and just that extra pop that we all love. And of course, I'm going to do the same steps that I did previously. And of course, it's totally up to you how many times you repeat these steps. Now I'm just adding a little color right underneath my brow. And if you notice, I'm placing it right where the arch of my brow is, just in that area. Now I'm touching up again with my yellow just to have that a little bit more blended. I'm not going to go in again with my highlighter color because I do want to keep that natural, but I am going to go in again with my yellow. Okay, so once you got that crease dark and popping as much as you want it to, now it's time to actually cut it. I always suggest using a cream concealer base or even an eyeshadow base, but with a cream consistency. It makes it easier, and I feel like you have better control. One of the little tricks when doing a cut crease, always use a smaller brush, a brush where you don't have to do too much space at one time. So you can just do a little at a time and really carve that crease out. You can also do it as big, as high, or as short as you want. It doesn't matter. It's totally up to you. But with the smaller brush, you definitely have better control to do it either way. Now I'm just going to use a sheer press powder just to lightly tap on top of the concealer that I just put on, because I want a more of a drier finish. Not too dry, but just a little bit to adhere my shadows, because you know how shadows can turn when you put it on something that's too wet. So always mat that down just a little bit with a sheer press powder. Now I'm going in with the eyeshadow, and as you can see, I'm using the same technique as I did when I added the concealer to cut my crease. I'm using a smaller brush so I can be real precise on where I'm placing the eyeshadow. Now that I'm adding some depth to my corner crease, and I really want that area to pop and really be deep and dark, so I'm going to keep repeating the steps as I did when I was first building my crease. Now the next few steps that I'm going to do to complete my face are going to be self-explanatory. You are going to see the products that I'm using, but if you have any questions or anything, definitely leave them in the comment box below.